It's a real pleasure for me to be here on this Zoom call with Maxine Heppenstall, the MD of Walker Foster, a truly dear client of mine who I've loved working with recently over a 6 month program. And if you're a law firm owner, partner, MD, or CEO, and you'd love to work out how to increase your profits while reducing your workload, then stick around because you're going to find this very insightful because what Maxine has achieved is inspiring to say the least. Maxine, it's really great to have you
Thank you.
here. So for the viewer, what how would you introduce yourself and what you do at Walker Foster?
I'm the Managing Director of Walker Foster, having taken up the role in April 2023. Prior to that, I was the Head of Private Client. And when taking up the MD role, it's a very different challenge. It goes from leading a group of people on a subject that you know most things about to leading the whole firm on a whole variety of issues. And for me, it's quite a jump. And I was struggling to find sort of my identity in that jump, which is
Okay.
when I reached out to you.
Okay. So when you were saying you were struggling with your identity, how was that affecting you as such?
I felt like I couldn't speak up or I couldn't speak my mind for fear of being wrong, or for not pleasing people or not living up to expectations.
Okay.
Just felt like I needed a bit of guidance and a bit of support with that.
Yeah, got it. Had you tried to solve that or find solutions to it anywhere else?
I just tried sort of my own way in dealing with things. And, it's very easy to find that you might not be on the right path
Yeah.
or the way that you might do something might not be right for others. And
Yeah.
feel like I've been on a real journey about sort of change management and how to speak to people and how to get the best out of people
Yeah.
without sort of directing them, but leading them.
Yeah, got it. Got it. So so I mean, what I'm sensing there is you're saying directing them, which is maybe what you tended to do before. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I think it's very easy when somebody comes to you with a problem to jump straight in and say, well, I would do this or I would do that to get to that outcome. But through working with you, I've learned that actually the power of listening comes before the communication. So when you
Okay.
really listen to what the problem is and what they want, then you can get to a solution, but get them thinking on their own feet rather than me just jumping in and saying, oh, well, I'd do this, I'd do that.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So what you found out was that initially what was missing is listening and
Yeah,
not getting to
yeah, on
people's
my
way.
part.
Yeah. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
And then
Jump straight onto the listening and straight into communication.
yeah, yeah, got it. Got it. And how was that affecting sort of how close or the effectiveness of the working relationship between you and the other team members?
Well, it wasn't very organized. I'm naturally a bit of a control freak. So it felt a bit out of control because I was trying to control everything when I
Mm,
didn't need to because I've got some great people in post who are
yeah,
perfectly capable of doing the job. And I need to be there as a mentor to them, not
yeah,
particularly an advisor.
yeah, got it. Interesting. Yeah, and I love your awareness. Well, certainly now in seeing how before you were trying to control everything, and as you're saying, your team around you are great, and it, and some so really it was almost you excluding yourself from your own success and what you could achieve in some way, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
I feel I've had a breakthrough there,
yeah,
definitely.
got it. Okay, so then what was it initially that made you be open to a conversation with me?
Introduced to you by Scott at Myerson's.
Okay.
Just a chance conversation with him about, the new role that's taken on, where the firm was, where the firm should be going, and where we want it to go. And your name came up in conversation as to the right person to put me on that path and help me along the way because it's very easy to get caught up in the day to day, and sometimes you just need that bit of external sounding board and help and advice.
Yeah. Yeah, great. So then, yeah, Scott then introduced us and we had a first conversation. What was it that made you be interested to have a second conversation with me?
Oh, you're very nice.
Bit of a charmer.
Ironically, it was power of listening. So you really listened and you got the problems that I was having. You understood it straight away. And I thought, yeah, here's somebody who can really help me.
Yeah.
So, yes,
Yeah,
the rest is
interesting.
history.
Yeah, great. Amazing.
Mm.
Because at that point, you then had to go to the other equity members, tell them about me, and basically get them on board in hiring me to work with you.
Yep,
So
yep.
I mean, how did you describe me to them and what I do and what I was going to do with you?
Explained it to them that I'd taken over the role. And, as a solicitor, you train as a solicitor, you work as a solicitor. But the whole leadership and management is a different bag altogether. And when you
Mm,
go from leading sort of a small team of people to having responsibility for the whole firm, it's a massive jump,
mm,
and you're on a learning curve every day. And for me, like I say, it's just that external perspective sometimes because you can be so sort of in the moment that you don't realize the bigger picture stuff,
yeah.
and that's what I've really enjoyed working with you, that, we've had some very big discussions about very big issues and, we've always found a way forward.
Yeah, brilliant. Really good. So then we started working together. What were some of the first things you remember we worked on?
Listening, communication,
Yeah,
clear requests,
clear
and
request. Yeah,
accountability.
and accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. And what were the first kind of breakthroughs or the first kind of results that you started to see happening that made you think, oh, this is starting to work?
I could see when I was talking to the HODs about the work that we were doing, because I was very open with all the heads of department that I am going on this coaching journey, so that I can help you in your role. So I talked to them about it and why we were going through this, and what the benefit would be to them. And it all came down to sort of time management.
Mm,
I think it's best described that if you're available to help all the time, you're going to get requests for help at all times of day and never actually get to the bigger stuff, the bigger project.
mm,
So it's about almost being a little bit selfish with your time to say, well, this is your time, save up the issues, come to me at that time, discuss everything, and then you have my full attention. I'm not in the middle of drafting, I'm not in the middle of a phone call, I'm not about to go into a meeting.
mm.
This is your time and your safe space for us to talk about anything that's on your mind.
Great. So that's referring to scheduling regular one-on-one calls with each head of department.
Yeah,
Yeah, brilliant.
yeah,
And then of course what you did is you showed how that was working by the heads of department you were working with starting to show an improvement in performance. And then you got the other equity members to start doing that with the ones that they had report to them, right?
yeah. Yeah, so each head of department obviously has a team behind them. And it was nice to see them implement sort of what we were working on, sort of down through the ranks, so they became more conscious of their time and, what's urgent versus what's important, and being able to deal with that effectively.
Mm. Yeah, brilliant. Really good. When do you remember like a specific moment where you had other team members start to speak to you in a way that was quite surprising or felt new through the work that we did?
Yeah, yeah, we've had a lot of success, particularly with our newest head of department.
Okay.
Um, from where he was when he took up the role on an interim basis to where he is now is absolutely astounding, amazing progress. You know,
Amazing.
we've listened to each other, we've worked together, we understand, where each other's going, and it's just that support network that works.
Yeah, great. So setting up like a system where everybody across the firm has a one-on-one call with somebody to be made clear requests of and held
Yeah,
to account and supported to succeed in what matters to them, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
brilliant.
And for me, that's been really rewarding to see that, to see somebody on that personal development journey and really succeed at it.
Yeah, yeah, brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. And so now, I mean, we talk about, a lot of this is a little bit intangible and, it's all a bit feeling good and all that. But if we ground it in basics, what difference has that made to the finances of the firm?
We're 10% ahead of where we were this time last year.
Okay.
So, at the beginning of the financial year, we set some very challenging targets and, we're on track to hit those targets, which is amazing at this time of year.
Okay. Okay. So what is it that's improved that in particular or made that possible?
Um, I mean, it's difficult. So a lot of what we do is market related with conveyancing and private client work.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's working really hard, everybody's really busy. And I think everybody would say, or would hope they would say, that they've got a good support network in place.
Yeah.
Generally people work in teams of two. They have the HUD to report to. If the HUD's not available, then they're engaging other team members. And, everybody's working together to get to the same goal.
Yeah. Because one of the things I remember were your billing targets were generally a bit low when we started.
Yeah, yeah.
And so what difference would you say the work that we've done has had on the actual, time being recorded as builder and collections as such?
Yeah, so through the heads of department, that they're aware of the importance of recording the time to be able to bill the time. So I think it's just probably more organised,
Yeah.
more thorough. Getting people to understand that their time is valuable, and the time that they give to the client should be charged for.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Really good. So at the beginning, before we started working together, you were kind of struggling with your identity, not knowing where you fit in with the firm, and you felt like it was a really big jump to being the MD of an entire firm and responsible for all of its, performance as such. How do you feel now with the leadership and management abilities that you've gained through working with me?
Really happy. I just feel more in control,
Yeah,
more proactive than reactive.
yeah,
So I meet with every HOD every month in person. We sit down, we have a good chat. I understand where the challenges are, help them with that. And it just feels like I've got a good rein on everything,
yeah,
like finger on the pulse.
yeah. Really good, really good, fantastic. So if somebody's a law firm owner or partner and they're watching this now and they're struggling to get their team members to hit their billing targets, and or maybe in collections and things like that, what advice would you give them?
Mm. Really listen to the people. So have those one-to-ones, preferably in person, and really get to the bottom of what the issue is.
Yeah,
Is it that somebody needs more technical training, more IT training? Do they have the tools they need to do the job? You know,
yeah,
do they have the basics to then build on and deliver the role that's needed?
yeah, brilliant, really good. And if somebody is a law firm owner or partner and they're on the fence about speaking to me and finding out more about what I do, what would you say to them?
Mm. Absolutely, speak to you. Yeah, it's just a breakthrough. You don't know what you don't know. And
Yeah,
it's quite a lonely position at the top, being the managing director.
yeah,
You can't necessarily confide in those around you, and having that external sounding board is invaluable.
yeah.
Really good.
What would you say is the one skill that you've gained that's made the greatest difference to your success as the MD of Walker Foster?
listening and communicating.
Yeah.
That's why I say I'm kind of a natural fixer. It's very quick to say, right, that's the problem, let's do this, but not realize the impact on everyone around you. So it might be best for you, but somebody else might get to the same destination but via a different route.
Yeah.
And we're all learning together. We're all growing together. So you should work together
Brilliant.
and get
Well,
the best out of people.
yeah, yeah, which, as you've said, you've learned how to do by listening and then making clear requests, holding people to account, which essentially is supporting them to then ensuring that they succeed at whatever you've agreed they're going to do. Yeah, brilliant. Really good. Well, Maxine, it's been an absolute pleasure. And just for the listener, we're in talks at the moment at having one of the other equity members possibly work with me in the future. So I'm excited about that. And
Brilliant. Thank you
and
very much for all you've done.
oh, thank you. I've really enjoyed working with you.